At the start of the movie, we meet a squirrel named Surly who makes a grand entrance into a nut shop. Inside, there are tons of animals who are super excited because there's plenty of food for them to munch on. The squirrels are all scurrying around, looking like they've found paradise. Then, we see Liberty Park, which used to be where all these animals lived, but once they discovered the nut shop, they decided to move in there instead. It was easier for them since they didn't have to work hard to get their food, and they were all really happy about it. Surly was enjoying this new life too, but there was a smart squirrel named Andy who chose to stay in the park. She believed that they were wild animals and shouldn't just take free food without effort, so she made her own home. Andy tried to teach the other squirrels about the importance of working for their food, but then she fell from a tree while gathering nuts. All squirrels laughed and went back to the nut shop. Later, Andy visits Surly in the shop and he offers her a Brazilian nut, but she turns it down because she doesn't want to be lazy like the others. She explains to Surly that they should find food through hard work instead of relying on free handouts. However, the other squirrels had become lazy because of all the easy food, and Andy encourages Surly to return to the park with her before leaving. Meanwhile, the city mayor was only focused on making money and had his sights set on Liberty Park, which was in a great location and could bring him lots of profit if used correctly. Here, Andy was really upset with Surly because the other squirrels were forgetting how to gather food for the winter and were losing their sense of identity. She warned Surly that this good fortune wouldn't last forever, to which Surly jokingly replied that it was like you saying the nut shop would explode someday. Just then, an explosion rocked the nut shop, sending shockwaves through the ground and leaving all the animals in shock and sadness over the lost food. But Andy quickly cheered everyone up, saying they would work hard again, live in the trees, and gather food. But Surly insisted that he would find an even better nut shop so everyone could eat well again, and anyone couldn't find food, making the other animals excited that he would again take charge. So, Surly and his friends set off to find a new nut shop, and along the way, they spotted a restaurant that made them happy, but they found no food there and faced many challenges. Exhausted, they decided to return to the park. The next morning, when they arrived, everyone was thrilled to see them, hoping Surly had found food. But when they learned he hadn't, fear spread among the animals. Andy then reassured them that they should all stay in the park just like before. On the other hand, the mayor arrives at the park in his car, ready to make a big announcement. In front of the cameras, he reveals his plans to transform the park into something called Liberty Land, which makes Surly and Andy feel really upset. When a news anchor asks the mayor about the animals living there, he just keeps talking about his plans and ignores their concerns because he only cares about making money. Soon, a bunch of machines show up to start the makeover, and as they begin working, all the animals panic and run away to escape. Surly tries to rally the animals, insisting that they need to stand up to the humans, but Andy points out that they can't fight them. Surly, determined to make a stand, positions himself in front of a machine, and even though it rolls over him, he manages to grab a wire and attempts to cut it, getting electrocuted in the process. Despite this, he manages to damage the machine, and the other animals start causing chaos over the workers, which makes them flee and abandon their equipment. When the mayor finds out that the animals have disrupted his plans, he gets really angry and starts thinking of a new way to deal with them. The animals celebrate their victory, but they still face a big problem. They need food, which makes Andy feel sad. She encourages everyone to work together to find something to eat, while Surly misses the nut shop a lot. The next morning, Andy wakes everyone up, ready to start a new day in search of food. Surly, drawn by the smell of nuts, heads toward them, but it turns out to be a trap set by the mayor, and he gets caught. Andy and the other animals rush to help him escape from the trap. They all work together to try to get Slurry out, but at the same time, the mayor's worker shows up with a bunch of cages to capture the animals. They explain to the mayor how they plan to catch them, and just then, the mayor's daughter arrives with her dog, Frankie. She spots the animals and tells Frankie to go after them. Meanwhile, Andy manages to free Slurry from the cage, but suddenly, they hear a strange noise. It's Frankie barking. When they see Frankie running toward them, they all start to flee, but Frankie chases after them. After a wild chase, Frankie spots Precious and instantly falls for her. Precious takes this chance to soothe Frankie, hoping to save everyone. Just then, the mayor's daughter shows up, thrilled to see Frankie with Precious, and she picks them both up to take them away. Seeing this, Slurry decides to follow her to rescue Precious. As he trails behind, he notices some huge machines approaching, ready to destroy the park. Slurry rushes back to warn Andy about the machines, and she quickly tells everyone to evacuate the park, helping them escape just in time. The mayor, with the help of his crew, completely wrecks the park. Now, Surly and Andy have even more challenges to deal with. They need to save Precious and find a new home for all the animals. Andy supports Surly in looking after their friends. Meanwhile, Surly and his buddy set out to rescue Precious. On his journey, Surly spots a really pretty rat named Phone. Phone looks adorable, but he's actually really grumpy. He hates being called cute and doesn't let any animals into his area. Surly and his friends manage to sneak away from him. Here, Andy arrives at a new park with the other animals, and it's a stunning place. But suddenly, a golf ball hits Andy on the head. It turns out this park is for rich people to play golf, and animals aren't allowed there, so they face a lot of problems. Meanwhile, Surly spots the mayor's car and chases it to the mayor's house to save Precious. He frees Precious from her cage, but as they try to escape, Surly accidentally steps on a crusty piece of food, alerting the mayor's daughter. She calls her dad, and he attacks them with an arrow. During the chaos, Surly's friend gets hurt badly, and Surly feels really guilty about it. To cheer him up, Andy asks how he met his friend. Surly shares that they met during a storm when he and his friend was just babies. They helped each other to survive, and ever since that day, they've been inseparable. On the other side, the mayor was in the park, which had completely transformed into Liberty Land. Andy turned to Surly and asked him to come up with a new plan for their survival, but Surly was really worried about his friend. Andy then explained to Surly that they had lost both the nut shop and the park, yet all the animals still believed in him. They thought he would figure out a way to help them escape this tough situation. Just then, Precious showed up and thanked Surly's buddy for helping him get out of the cage. When Precious licked Surly's buddy, Surly asked him to do it again, and after Precious licked him with all his might, Surly's buddy woke up. Everyone was overjoyed to see him alive. After that, they all started planning to rescue the park from the greedy mayor. As Liberty Land was about to open, all the park animals rushed there and began causing chaos, discovering a lot of destruction. However, a team arrived to capture the animals, and they managed to imprison everyone except Andy and Surly. Surly sees the danger and quickly tells Andy to find a safe spot to hide. He then leaves the area to go somewhere else. Meanwhile, Andy gets knocked out after being given an anesthetic and is captured by the mayor's men. On the other side, Surly arrives at Feng's location and asks for his assistance, but Feng refuses, saying he wants nothing to do with the park animals. He explains that he used to live in that park also but left because he was scared of the people there, and since then, he and his friends have stayed away. Surly insists that as animals, they should unite, and after some convincing, Feng agrees to help him and gathers his group to join the cause. With their support, Surly manages to free all his animal friends from the mayor's team in no time, and everyone is thrilled to see Feng. They then head to the park to cause chaos by breaking swings and creating a mess. Meanwhile, Precious visits her friend Frankie, who is tied up by the mayor's daughter. Frankie is furious with Precious for abandoning him last time, but she apologizes, and he forgives her, rekindling their friendship. But the mayor's daughter spots them and orders an employee to attack them, but Precious intervenes to save Frankie. When the employee tries to shoot an arrow again, Surly and Andy team up to distract him, causing the arrow to accidentally hit the mayor's daughter, knocking her out. Eventually, all the animals together go take out the mayor's people from the chaos. The people end up getting beaten up, and soon after, the police arrive on the scene. The officers declare that whoever is responsible for the mess will definitely face jail time due to the noise and destruction. However, the mayor, who is listening to all this, takes a swing at the police and seizes the chance to escape using a gas balloon. Surly tries to chase him down but can't catch up. Meanwhile, Surly's friends takes him to a roller coaster, which helps Surly reach the mayor. Surly confronts the mayor aggressively, causing him to fall, but luckily, the mayor lands in a safe spot. Just when he thinks he's in the clear, Feng's army attacks him. As the mayor attempts to flee, the police finally apprehend him, arresting him for all the chaos and illegal activities. With Liberty Land now shut down, the animals celebrate their victory by destroying the remnants of the park, transforming it back into a natural habitat where they can live happily together. And with this, the amazing story ends here. So let me know what you think about this recap. See you at the next film. Thank you.